This episode is brought to you by Battleborn Batteries, the best name in the RV and marine industry. These lithium batteries are designed and assembled in the USA, backed by a 10-year warranty. The best solution for your battery anxiety. So go check them out at battlebornbatteries.com.
You are listening to Beyond the Wheel, a podcast about the people and ideas that drive the RV community forward.
On today's show, we are chatting with Scott, the owner of RV With Me, which is a website where you can list or find properties for RV State. Scott discusses how and why he came up with the idea, the challenges of getting the word out about the business, how large he hopes to grow the business, and new services he would like to see added to the site.
Hi, Scott. Thanks for joining us on the podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you created RV With Me?
Okay. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on your podcast. And let's see, it goes back. I used to own an RV park and a golf course for about 15 years. And I sold that maybe about 7 years ago now. So the first thing you do when you own an RV park and you sell it, you want to start another RV park. So I had some land just in the adjoining county. And so I applied to get my RV park put over there. And of course, they came up with all the reasons why I couldn't have another RV park. It was really ridiculous because the location was about a mile away from my old RV park. So I got really sort of frustrated and came to the conclusion that if you won't let me build an RV park, I'm going to come up with a way that I can have all my neighbors build their own RV park. And then the more I even started thinking about it, is like, well, why invest all this cash into building another RV park when we have like every farmer, every acreage owner essentially is their own RV park? Certainly they can't hold 100 RVs, but they can all hold 2 or 3. And then as I started to look into the bylaws of what my county was offering was you could have as many as 2 RVs on your property for as long as 2 weeks. Now, I think that's just to be, to have your family come over or whatever. But those were some of the early bylaws that I started to run across, and that seemed to be really reasonable.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
So that's sort of what happened. So I had my application is still sitting on a desk downstairs. I kind of thought, well, this would be more fun to have everybody having RV parks. And I like the RV business, and I like the RVing. Maybe you guys have found the same thing. As when I was going out with my kids and my family to go RVing, I find it really difficult to find places to go to. And not to mention the fact that, some places were these 100, 200 unit RV parks where I really didn't want to go with my kids. Like if I could have stayed at somebody's farmyard with 2 other RVers, that would have been right up my alley. So anyhow, that's sort of where it all came from.
So I'm curious, was the golf course part of your RV park? So when you sold the park, did you sell the golf course with it?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that must have been a lot of property. That's a good chunk.
Yeah. Yeah. So because of that, I'm kind of retired.
Oh, nice.
My sideline project now.
It's a great sideline project, though. I love the idea. Just like you said, it's difficult to find RV parks, and you wouldn't think it would be. And then the more difficult part is actually to try to get a hold of these RV parks sometimes, because not everybody does like the online booking. And you call them, you leave a message. A lot of times they don't call back. They got an email list that you write them an email, and they don't contact you back.
I don't know why us RV parks haven't figured it out and become consolidated yet. Like when you go look for a hotel in, Seattle, you're not going to find that one. You just go to the random page that has all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been telling the RV parks, because I've been a part of many associations with RVing. I said, I don't care where I get my RVers from, just so long as they come to my place. So you should list your property on my website, not to mention 20 other websites. Like I don't know all of them that are taking online reservations, but it's just like having fishing lines in the water. The more you have in, the better chances you are to fill up your park. And then the more full you are, right, of course, the more you can charge, and it's just good business.
I would also imagine that it's almost like marketing for them, where instead of spending the money on commercials or spending money on advertising and things like that, they're almost kind of advertising with your site as well.
Right. It's just another location where people can find it. As we all know, the internet is so vast, you're easily lost. You know, it's hard for people to find you. Like, I'm in Alberta. I know we have hundreds of great RV parks, but unless you know the exact location you're going to go to, you have to find that exact RV park. They're very difficult to find. They're very, very difficult to find.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating. You probably are already kind of answered my second question here about how the company came about and stuff like that. So you started, so I noticed on your website that you can rent out your personal RV as well. Did you start out just doing the locations first and then it grew into that, or did you launch both of them at the same time?
Well, with the website, we could really pretty much do anything, but on our website, we do not promote the renting to take out the RV. If you want to rent your RV beside your house, then you could have somebody come in and stay in there. I think there is a few people who I have to get in there every once in a while and remove their listing because we're not insured for somebody to go take somebody's RV. There's other websites out there. I think, there's at least a half a dozen websites that are into renting RVs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we're more like the bed and breakfast style of renting out an RV.
Okay.
And there's a lot of acreages that have at least one RV sitting beside their house, and at least in Alberta they do. I'm like, why not rent that sucker's sitting there? It's probably worth about $50 or $100 a day if you could get somebody in it.
So then people can just drive up in their car and have this beautiful space and have a nice RV to hang out in. Yeah,
exactly. And there's some other things that we're hoping to do, or when I say we, that's the royal we, it's me, that I would like to do with the website. And one of them was eventually getting into caravans. So if we ever get to the point where we have, let's say, thousands of listings, let's say you're an expert, Sean, in Northern California, that's where you are right now. And you come together with your own little 7-day package where you have these 7 farms that you like to go to, and you would list the whole tour and you would organize everything, and whatever 5 or 6 or 7 RVers want to join you and do this little trail that you love, and you become your own little tour company.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah, that will be a while, but I think we're only around 200, a little over 200 listings right now. So sometime when we get around 2,000 listings.
When did you launch this, Scott?
It's been launched several times. I think going back the first time 5 years ago. 4 years ago. And then I'd launched it, and I had some really bad web designs and stuff, and it just wasn't going well. And I am far from tech savvy. This is as high tech as I get right now, is with the headset on and talking to you. So I went through a couple rebuilds, and those were very expensive. And then I was able to finally get on this one site, which is more like, well, somebody else runs it for me. And
is the company you and you alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wear all the hats.
The RV with me, the emails, and it's just me.
Okay.
But I am I'm more than happy to partner with somebody, especially somebody who's a little tech savvy. Let's see.
If you find them, let us know.
Yeah.
So is there an app version of the website, or is it right now just on the web?
Yeah, it's just on the web, but we are mobile responsive, I think is the terminology. Okay. So it fits onto a cell phone really easy. An app really just has a lot of the components already downloaded to your phone. You'd still need the internet. Anyhow, no, not yet.
I think you're getting in this at a good time, though. The RV industry right now has been growing, which is a good and a bad thing. As we said earlier, that it's tough to get a spot and get responses and things like that. And as the RV industry grows and more people are buying RVs, it's all become even more difficult. You had mentioned that farmland can use the app and post on there. What other types of sites are you guys listing? I
have a few driveways. Acreages are really common. I'm getting a lot of RV parks, quite a few in Alberta, because I know quite a few RV park owners in Alberta. And sort of right now, that's sort of my drive. Well, again, it comes down to you RVers wanting to go to one site.
From a customer standpoint, are they making the reservation? Say a campground has their listing on your site. When a customer goes to make a reservation, are they talking with you, or are they talking with the campground? Who's the reservation actually going through?
Yeah, they're talking directly to the RV park whoever the RV host is. And eventually, we're getting a few more development things thrown onto the website where the host themselves can use the whole entire website as their reservation system.
Oh, that'd be great.
And keep track of it there. Right now, I think it would work better for maybe like a farm or an acreage, somebody who's only dealing with maybe 5 or 10 RVs on their property at a given time. Some of the RV parks, with 100 sites or 200 sites, they'll have their own reservation system that the staff is familiar with. So they would basically get an email that says, you have a reservation request from RV with me from this person. Do you want to accept it or do you want to talk to them? And there can be certainly there's lots of back and forth that goes on the website. Yep. Then they take the reservation, they accept it. And our website, we don't deal with any cash. So the RVer pays the host when they show up, or if they come up with any other sort of arrangement, like my RV park back in the day, I would contact you and say, give me your credit card, and then you're booked.
Okay.
But I think most RVers, the amount of no-shows hardly happens.
Yeah, I think it's very rare. So the money transaction is not going through your site. It's still being dealt directly with the campground, whether that be cash when you show up to the campground or the farm or whatever. So you're not taking people's information or anything?
No, we're not. I tried to originally, and I just quickly discovered that there's way too many headaches with collecting people's money. And so I'm still trying to figure out how to make this website profitable. That's not collecting any money.
I was going to ask you how you were, what the business model was.
I like the RV business too much, and I like seeing RVers get to where they want to get to. So I'm kind of just going on that premise right now. I thought, well, maybe if we had 2,000 listings or 3,000 listings, and we, our website was getting thousands of eyeballs on it a day, advertising starts to come in as the option. And I didn't want to sort of restrict any future or like early growth of the website. That way people aren't, they're not, I get to prove myself the website gets to prove itself by being there year after year. Then we'll have a little bit more trust, and people can, comfortably use the site and know that they're not going to be ripped off or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so you're still really in infancy stage as far as growth.
Yeah, but we seem to get a new listing every day or two, and there seems to be reservations going through every day.
For people to put their property on your site, they can do it all through the website?
Yeah, it takes about 5 minutes. I think the longest part of listing your property is actually taking nice photos. There's quite a few RV listings. They have like two or three photos, but we don't limit photos. Like, photos sells everything.
Yeah,
definitely.
So I wish these people would be taking 20 photos easy of their location. And then one of the main questions I get from new hosts is, what do they need to two things. What kind of services do I need to offer? And my response to that all the time is that no services are required, because most of us RVs can, we can last 7 days almost easily without any power, water, or sewer. Yep. We just need a nice, safe place to park where we know that we won't be disturbed at midnight and asked to move. That's our biggest problem.
Yeah.
And for prices, I usually tell people to start with, $5 a night, $10 a night. Don't worry about, making all this cash on the first day or two. Get 1, 2, or 5 RVs through, get some good reviews. When you start turning people away, that's a good time to start raising your prices.
Yeah. I noticed on there, looking through there, that there's a lot at that $10 range. So that's really a good deal.
Yeah. And so I do like the low ones, but I was really hoping when I started my new RV park, I wanted to have a $100 a day site or $150 a day. So I am hoping that somebody's going to have like a hot tub and a fire pit, natural gas barbecues set up, pull your RV in. You guys have seen those big Prevos and stuff going down the road. Yeah. There's a certain type of RVer that does want the first class experience. So those things will start coming.
There are plenty of glampers. I consider Sabrina and I glampers, actually. We do a little bit of boondocking, dry camping, stuff like that, but we always enjoy being hooked up. If a campground has a pool, hot tub, that's even better.
On the boondocking, that's one thing too. I was hoping to see it take off a little bit more, but maybe it's just simply because not enough people know about the website yet. Boondocking is tougher us new RVers, or even the RVer that, let's say you've never been to Montana before, so you don't really know the area. And it would be, again, I love this free camping. So if we had every boondocking spot listed across North America, I bet you there's boondocking spots outside of my town within a 10-minute drive. But I just don't know where they are. And I don't know where I can stay. And well, someday, hopefully, we'll have all those, more and more listings. There was a few people that were listing their spots, and that was good. You can just drop the coordinates or the pin on the map and just say, hey, good spot right here.
Yeah, that's always the scariest part for Sabrina and I, is when we pull into a spot that is supposedly boondocking friendly, and we'll look at it and we're like, all this is boondocking? Are we in the right spot, or is somebody going to swing by here and say, hey, you guys have to move? I think knowing that you're actually in a qualified boondocking spot is still difficult for us anyway. So we always like to boondock with friends. We know what they're doing.
Yeah, I was also hoping that maybe somebody like Walmart might find our site, because I know some Walmarts let boondocking and some don't, and they all have their rules. So like, how nice would it be to have a Walmart listing that says, we expect you to park over here, and we expect you to be out by 10 o'clock in the morning. You can have all your rules so that these people don't have to go in and check into the customer service. Everybody feels a little awkward. It would just be nice to know that this Walmart is listed on the website. They totally accept RVers, and these are their rules, and this is how they expect you to behave. It might be like, don't put your push-outs out, and don't put your jacks down.
Yeah, that would be nice to have. And
you would still kind of register, like you would say, yeah, I'm going to book this boondocking spot, so they know who is there.
Yeah.
And I try to promote that to RV dealerships. I'm letting them know too that they can list their front parking lot on RV with me, to just say, not only do you sell RVs, but you also support the community by, giving a few RVers free accommodation in the parking lot overnight. Instead of us, I don't even know if I'd go to an RV dealership with my RV to go in and ask them, do you mind if I could spend the night here?
Yeah, most of those you find out like by word of mouth, by other people that have been able to do it. So yeah, finding a place where that is centralized would be great.
Yeah, some of the camping worlds allow it, but other than them, I don't know if it's a normalized thing or not.
Yeah,
and not all of them let you. I love that idea about having Walmart on your site though, and giving a listing, and then you saying, yeah, this way they know that you're out there and that you're okay to be there.
Yeah,
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, all good things in time, I hope.
So when somebody wants to list their spot on your site, you said it takes about 5 minutes. Do you then see it and then you give the thumbs up or thumbs down? I mean, is there some type of qualification that they need to pass?
We have a few fields that need to be filled out. Like one is a photograph, and I think map, location, name, email. Not very much. Like you can make a really simple listing. And then over time, I'll go back and take a look at the listings and see. But everybody's been like, there's been nothing wrong about anybody's listing on the sites. I think over time, they'll just slowly be sort of reviewed either positively or negatively, and that will determine whether or not people go to these particular places.
It sounds like it's easy then for them to at least get started with it.
Oh, absolutely. You can be on the site in 5 minutes taking reservations for the weekend.
And then you said the reviews left on the site themselves?
Yeah,
on your site?
The actual listing would be, you would leave your review on that. So when you go to look at any particular campground, if somebody stayed there or knows that site, they can leave a review.
Being a small business, what type of marketing tools have you been able to use to grow the site and RV with me? And what of those do you feel has been most effective, if any of them?
It's hard. I've tried a few, and the few being, Facebook ads, Twitter, generally Facebook ads. Again, there's just so much noise going on the internet, and I'm just one voice. And with social media, you need that voice that's speaking right now. If I spoke yesterday, that's already too late. That's over with. It needs to be now while I'm online. So I'm hoping that as we get more and more listings, and I'm trying to talk to the people who have their listings, that, you could promote your own listing yourself a little bit by sharing it with your friends on Facebook or putting it out on Twitter or whatever other social media you have.
Yeah.
And then that brings more eyeballs for everybody. But I don't know, just not quite enough RVers or hosts yet.
Marketing nowadays really is the toughest part on small businesses because there's so many different avenues and a lot of people are in those lanes. It's like big city traffic almost.
And RVing is a real sort of, it has two different facets. One, there is the online one, and that's where I'm hoping to get people while they're sitting at their computer and they're browsing and they just get some, because my website is online. But RVing is not an online subject. It is outside, boots on the ground, and it's a very social activity. And I think if we get some RV with me ambassadors on the road, traveling, just dropping out the idea to people, you drive by or you just talk to somebody and say, well, what do you do with your farm? You could host an RVer on it, and then the seed is planted, and next thing you know, they go to that website, slowly grows naturally that way.
Yep.
And that's sort of where I've been at. Just letting it be what it's going to be.
If we could get more of the farms on board with this idea, that'd be fantastic. There are so many areas that we drive through where it is just hours of nothing but farmland.
Yeah,
and that's all space that we could be using.
I know, and just look at our carbon footprint of building yet another RV park. It's like we don't need to be spending all these assets to do more and more of this stuff. Everything already exists, as far as I'm concerned, out there.
Yeah,
I think I even have a couple hotels that are listed on the website just for their parking lot in the backyard.
And I like ideas like that too. The hotel, the farms. Really the farms too, especially the farms. They're very easy access on and off because they're made for heavy equipment, and the driveways would be plenty big enough. They have the space for maneuverability and getting in there and getting right back onto the road again. And
that everybody's going to come out. Like when I had the RV park, really, I was just like, thanks for your credit card. There's your site. Be quiet. I don't want to hear anything from you till tomorrow morning when you're leaving. But when our RV park was really small and one person would come in, you want to meet everybody. So I guess my point is that when you're a farm and you have one or two RVs show up, you're going to meet some people. It's really nice that way.
It's also good for the RVers to learn about some of these different things like, soybean farming. The RVer gets to learn and appreciate some of the other occupations in the world, and the person hosting them gets to learn about RVing and what that person does. So it's really good if you really want to get out and learn about communities, that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, one of my latest pushes here last winter was trying to get ski hills aware of RV with me. I think there's a ski hill in British Columbia, Kicking Horse. I think they allow RVing in their parking lot. I believe Big White might let some RVing. And if you're a skier at all or even like winter camping, once again, it would be so nice to know what ski hills I can go to and park and know that I'm not going to be asked to leave at 2:00 in the morning. So that was one thing. And then the other one was when I owned the golf course, if I didn't have the RV park, I would certainly be looking at taking in RVs off the road, 1 or 2 or 3, whatever I could put in my parking lot. And our golf courses have big parking lots and lots of room for RVers, so long as they get in at the right time. If you're showing up at noon on Saturday, they're might be a little harder to maneuver, but anyhow, that was another place I've been pushing.
Yeah, I wonder too about like some of the skis areas, further south that aren't open through the summertime. That land, I guess, just sits and nobody uses it at all. But maybe they're just off the beaten path. Maybe they're a little too far out of the way. I don't know. I talked to my local ski hill exactly about that. I said, you have this massive parking lot for the summertime and there's nobody that's just sitting there empty. And I think he particularly just wanted to take the summers off. He worked enough. He didn't want to deal with more people. But these ski hills have huge parking lots that are vacant in the summertime, and it just seems crazy not to allocate one parking lot for boondocking or something like that. If a farmer gets a hold of you, Scott, and they rent out a site, say he charges $5, are you guys getting any commission?
No, we don't get any commissions or anything right now. I've been looking at a few different revenue models where we might charge like a reservation fee, like a $1 flat reservation fee. So we would get $1 and then they would still have to pay the host when they get there. Other ways are, once we hit the 2,000 or 3,000 listings, if it ever comes to that, and you have one of 20 RV parks in Seattle. Well, you might pay to have a higher location on the as a preferred RV. But all of these things right now, I think, I don't know, I'm just happy with the way things are going right now. And I don't want to slow the growth down by charging money at the moment. We'll just get more and more listings, and maybe I can just make money from advertising. Yes, it would be nice to cover the monthly costs of the site.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
So now's a good time for people to sign up on there.
Well, I'm pretty sure it'll always be free to sign up. It might only come to the point of like a reservation fee would be probably one way. I think RVers would be okay with that too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you want to book at a farm and they want $20 a night, can you give our website $1?
Yeah,
to get that reservation going? That would be about the extent of it.
How many people are listed on that site now? How many locations do you have? Do you know offhand?
I think I just saw yesterday it was 210 listings. 210 or 220.
Because I think you mentioned, what was that other number that you said that you'd like to see? What, 2,000?
Oh, about 2,000.
2,000. Okay.
I think it really has to be a high number for people to go use the site, because right now, well, I know I do have some good listings around my town, but let's say you're in LA and you want to look for a place to go camping. Well, you might only have a choice of 3 spots, and they might be all an hour away. As soon as we start filling in the gaps, and you can find an RV site within 15 minutes of your place. I know that would be the website I'll use to go camping this weekend. With Alberta here, we sell out. Like May Long weekend is this coming weekend, and if you don't have a reservation somewhere, you're not going anywhere. You're not even considering pulling your RV out. You can't just even wing it in this province. We have so many RVs here. Hopefully our RV with me would just give you more options, but unless we have, again, hundreds and hundreds of listings, they sell out. They do fill up.
You have a great tool on your website that I saw with that map, and it shows you the dots of where everything is. And then as you zoom into the area, it's easy to find. But then that dot actually changes colors a little bit, or breaks off into different colors, and it shows you, is it a campground, I guess, or is it a farmland? And it's very easy to use. I thought it was fantastic way to find a spot.
Yeah, I do like that. Sometimes I get some questions from people that they're trying to find a spot, and I tell them, just use the map.
The map looked really easy.
Because if there's not a dot in that state of where you want to go, there's not a listing there. Because if you're searching a town in the search bar by the name, they get a little bit confused, because if there's nothing there, there's nothing there, and they don't know that the map is a better tool to find out what's close to you.
Yeah, I thought that made it very easy. What's some of the feedback that you've been hearing from customers, or what's some of the feedback that you've enjoyed hearing the most?
Well, I'm always surprised with how surprised people are, because, I go out to like a party and they're like, so what do you do? And I kind of joke around and tell them that I'm, unemployed or retired or something like that. And then I'm like, no, not well. I do have this website, and then I explain what it is. And their eyeballs always sort of bug out of their head. They're like, oh my God, that is such a good idea. And then it gets me reinvigorated. I'm like, I know, it is a good idea. So everybody I tell, everybody is always positive. And it's like, if anybody camps, everybody can see the benefits of a website like this. Not to mention, the casinos, I was pushing those guys for a while to start listing, because we all know that, I don't know, 80% of casinos host RVs.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know really which ones, but if you list it on the website, it would be easier for us to find. And if you want to say it's free, well, that's where, most people are going to want to go to that casino instead of the one who wants, the RV park and the $30 or $40 a night.
Yeah, that's actually Sabrina and I's favorite, is the casino, because usually you sign up with a card, sometimes they'll give you a free dinner, or at least a discount on a meal. They have great lighting. They have great lighting, and they also have security that comes through all the time. So for overnight parking, that's one of our favorite spots. How are you finding listings, Scott? Are you calling these people and saying, hey, I have this?
No, they're finding the website. Somehow they're finding the website, and they they list. See, like I can't email the farmer because I don't know which farmer wants to host an RVer, but I do know that RV parks host RVers, campgrounds host RVers, and in our province next to us, British Columbia, about 5 years ago, they allowed farms to host up to 10 RVers. You could have a 10-unit RV park on your farm.
Wow.
So I'm trying to find those guys. Those ones are really hard to find. I don't know how people are even finding them to book a reservation. Again, when I do stumble across those guys, I'll send them out an email to just take a look at our website. And
So you really are a one-man operation.
Yeah.
I have an unrelated question just because you said you owned a golf course up there. What's the golf season up in Alberta?
Yeah, it's if you can start April 1st, that's a good year, but it's usually May 1st and it goes till about, if you can get to October 31, that's a good year. It's usually about October 10th about. But you'd be surprised. We have with our Sunlight up here, I think we operated about 80% of what a golf course that is open year round in the States.
Really?
Oh, okay.
We're teeing off for 9 holes in July and August at 8:00 at night. Still,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a
That's
late
cool.
tee time, but you can still do 18 at 6 o'clock when you guys are pretty much done, I think.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to. It takes me 6 hours to play a game.
I know I'm playing again, and
Horrible.
I'm horrible too. And people get a kick out of that one too. It's like the chef that doesn't like to cook at home. I own the golf course, and I take it or leave it. Mainly leave it, but I still play.
Well, I think that's all my questions. Sean, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, you said you were out on Twitter and Facebook. Any other social media presence?
I need to do Instagram and I need to do YouTube. I just haven't. I just don't spend much time creating content to go onto the platforms. That's really
like a whole other job.
skill. Yeah. And every once in a while when I start doing it, I go down the rabbit hole and hours of the day just seem to disappear as I'm on social media. But I do know it's like YouTube that's my go-to it's my owner's manual for everything. If I need to change the light bulb in my truck, it's like, well, I'll go to YouTube.
Yep.
And so I'm sure YouTube would be a good platform for us to be on. I just need to find somebody who's more social savvy than I am. I have a little bit of a bias against it, right? So when I already dislike using Facebook and stuff, you tend to not use it.
What about forum sites? Have you gone to any of the forum sites? I'm not sure how advertising and stuff like that works on the forums.
I have tried in the past, and forums are really funny. You are not allowed to advertise or promote anything.
Okay.
So as soon as you go in, the first question is, do you own this website? Like, what are you talking about this website for?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, well, yeah. They're like, okay, you're not allowed. You're not allowed on this.
Oh,
forum.
okay. Oh.
So the best way for people to find out more about RV with me is actually just to go to the website.
Absolutely. Just go to the website and you can browse all the listings that we have right now. You can use it right now to make a reservation to go stay at any of the places. And if they feel like they want to host an RVer or rent out their RV beside their house or something like that, they can use the website and see if they can make some extra cash this summer.
Before we let you go, Scott, is there anything that we might have missed that you want to add?
Yeah, no, we covered everything, and I don't know. I'm not going anywhere. The website's going to be up for, at least another 5 years. If can't figure out how to make money after 5 years from now, then maybe I'll. I don't even know if I'll shut it down. I would just keep it going. It's not that expensive to run, and I really do like the RV business, and I'm still looking to maybe even someday rebuild another RV park. My favorite idea is to buy a golf course and just put a road down the middle of the fairways and park the RVs.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us. Hopefully, as you grow in the future, we can get back together and talk about RV with me again.
Absolutely. Yeah. We should do a 1 year in review and see what's happened in the last year, how many more sites got listed, and what the future plans are.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to thank Scott for coming on the show and giving us an inside view of his company and how it all works. We think the service is really going to help all of us find and secure spots during our travels, and look forward to the business taking off.